Hi, correlation analysis is to evaluate the strength of relationship between two variables. When we have a look at this diagram, correlation analysis can be presented by scatter plot or coefficient values. Under this coefficient, we have three tests which are Pearson, Spearman rank, and Kendall-Tau. When we did our scatter plot, these are some of the example of the output that we may get. So when we have this output, for example, the first diagram here, what does it mean? It means that these data have linear relationship with positive slope but weak. The relationship is weak. When you have a look at this one shows that the data have linear relationship with negative slope but strong but have an outliers. So these are some of the example of scatter plot of data that you can interpret to see the correlation between the variables. So correlation analysis, beside by using scatter plot, this correlation analysis can also be identified using correlation coefficient, which is a numerical measure of the relationship between two quantitative variables. There are several types of linear correlation coefficient, which are Pearson correlation coefficient, Spearman rank correlation coefficient, Kendall-Tau correlation coefficient. So when you have the value or the coefficient value, this value actually to determine the strength of the linear relationship between two variables. So the value range from -1 to +1. So when you have the value, there is an interpretation of the value. This line will show you will guide you on how to interpret your value. So strong positive linear relationship when you have the value that is close to +1. So we have -1 to +1 here. When you have the value, the coefficient value near to +1 means that the variables have strong positive linear relationship. If you have the value which is close to -1, means that it has strong negative linear relationship. If you have the value which is 0, then it means that there is no linear relationship or weak relationship. So if you have a value in between this line, so if it is near to 0, we can say it is weak negative or weak positive relationship. If it is near to negative or +1, we can say the variables have strong positive or negative relationship. So let's have a look at the example. We want to study the pattern of association between sales and price. We want to compute the strength of association and describe the association between sales and price. Okay, I may start with looking at this data, the car sales data. Okay, I will show you how to come up with the graph. Go to graph, legacy dialog, and choose scatter or dot plot. And in this box, you are going to choose simple scatter. After that, you need to choose your Y and X axis. For this case, we are looking at sales for Y and also price for X. And then you can click OK. The output will give you the scatter plot for those two variables, the sales and price. So from this scatter plot, what can you interpret? So based on your eyes, you can see that there may be some relationship. The negative relationship between those variables. Okay, now I will show you how to do parametric and non-parametric tests to get the correlation value. We are going to start with parametric test. Go to Analyze, Correlate, choose bivariate. And then you need to put all the variables involved in this analysis in the box here. So we are looking at the sales and price, put it inside here. Then for parametric test, we are using Pearson. So you need to tick Pearson test and then click OK. This is the output that you are going to get when you run the parametric test using Pearson coefficient. So sales in 1,000 and then price in 1,000. So you can have a look at the correlation coefficient here, negative 0.305. What does it mean? Okay, we can refer back to this line. Okay, negative 0.3 means it has negative relationship. So is the relationship is strong or weak? So negative 0.3 near to 0. So it has a negative weak relationship. And then does that relationship significant? Okay, you can have a look at the p-value 0.000, which is less than 0.05, means that the correlation, the value, the relationship is significant. Now let's get the correlation value for non-parametric using non-parametric tests. Go to Analyze, choose Correlate, Bivariate. Okay, the same variables, sales and price, but now we are using non-parametric, so we can choose Kendall-Taubes or Spearman or both. So just click OK. SPSS will give you all the output. So you have the Kendall-Taubes output on the top, and then the Spearman row output at the bottom. So you can see that the value negative 0.3, and then for Spearman negative 0.4, both indicate that these two variables, sales and price, has negative weak relationship. And then 0.000 for the p-value, which is significant. So the relationship is significant. So hoping that this video will help you doing your correlation analysis using SPSS. See you again. Bye.